Hello, good morning, good morning. Hey, Walter, how
Hey,
are you
hey,
today, my friend?
we're getting through. We're getting through another day.
Getting through. Yeah, good. I'm glad. I am back. Yesterday was a little bit of an off day. Um, is my internet went out on Sunday, and we just got it back today. So we are back in the world of the 21st century. We have technology again, but I had some time yesterday and I spent it on my property and I did some manual labor and
Yeah.
let my brain decompress. And I built a bunch of footers for a shed that I'm putting on there, which is awesome. Um, Also, happy Veterans Day to
Yep.
everyone in the audience, to anyone who is with us
Wonderful.
on
Thank you.
Substack, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you for joining us. Veterans Day is a great day for us to celebrate those who served and continue to serve. Veterans Day is about those of us who are alive still. Memorial Day is about those who have passed on. And today is our day to celebrate those of us who are still alive. And I want to take a moment to celebrate some friends before we get into Notes of the Week, where we are unapologetically progressive. Is I really want to give a happy Veterans Day to my friends, Melissa Corrigan. She is amazing. She does some incredible work. I want to give Happy Veterans Day to my a bunch of my other friends as well: Chris Goldsmith, Tara Devlin, Coach Cap, i.e., Jake Summers. Um, who else did I forget? Bobby Jones. I put in. I want to make sure I give a shout out to Fred Wellman. Happy Veterans Day, and also to anyone I missed. Happy Veterans Day that I care about, and those of you who are serving and continue to serve our country and do so much good work, like Ken Harbaugh, other folks like that. Please continue to do the work that you're doing. You are incredible. Stephanie Wilson's dad, thank you. To her father, thank you to my dad, to my brothers, to my uncles, to my cousins, to everyone in my grandparents' fathers, to everyone in my family, my sister-in-laws, my wife. Happy Veterans Day. You all mean the world to me because you care, and your family. And I just want everybody to have a happy Veterans Day as we fight for things, as we go forward, and we talk about what needs to happen in the world and our thoughts on some of the things of this week. So I'm Nick Paro. I'm joined by my good friend Walter Rhein, and we are here for Notes of the Week, as we are every week. Hi, everyone in Substack world who's with us in their chat. I'm in the chat with y'all, so please hit that heart. Say hi. We're here with you. We want to get into some good notes. And to everyone else, Lefty Prof, to your dad and your
Yeah.
grandfathers, um, everyone in the chat who is a veteran with us, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for being here with us. Let's get into it. We've got some. Um, Thank you, Sushi. Appreciate it. Um, and I'm an Army vet, so I'm celebrating Veterans Day too by serving and continuing to serve and putting out progressive ideals. So, good morning again, Walter.
Good morning.
Um, I'm going to start with my note real quick, at
Perfect.
least one of them, because we've got a couple notes this week that are pretty much around the same thing.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts on them because they're important. And I feel like the Democrats in the Senate just fucking
Yeah.
abandoned everything that we had been asking them to do. Um,
Oh,
and they're just like, yep, we're done. We don't care about what you think. So here we go. Let's move over to our other scene. Also, there is a QR code if you'd like to scan. I'm running a Vet Day special today
perfect.
for just for today, for 60% off for your first year. So please become a paid subscriber on Substack. You are feeding my family. Um, and that helps me continue to do this work too. So please, if you can become a paid subscriber, I would really appreciate it. And that is the QR code in the top right corner. So let's get into our notes though. Yeah. And Stephanie, if you can get a list or Walter, if you want to grab a list of the 8
Oh boy. Yeah. I'll try to do that.
with Chuck Schumer, I would happily call them out by name in all of this. So here's my note from this week. QR code in the top corner. I'll also grab the code or the link for everybody and drop it in the chat. So if anybody on Substack can see it, we will you can pull it up. Please like, share, comment, do all the things. It helps get the word out. But my note this week is Hakeem Jeffries has the choice to do the correct thing. Reject the Senate's proposal to cave to fascists. Stop obeying. It's literally the only thing pro-democracy voters are demanding you to do. America needs fighters going on offense, not weak, feckless cowards. And the problem is, and I heard it this morning on Find Out podcast, they were talking a little bit about it. They had Adam Kinzinger on, and I listened in, and I thought it was a good episode. I disagree with Adam still on some things. Happy Veterans Day to him as well, because he did serve and he is trying to continue to serve. That said, I disagree with some of the stuff. We won't go into it today around Graham Plattner. And the idea of forgiving Graham Plattner for the tattoo, I think he called out. Oh, actually, it's important today as we talk about Veterans Day. Graham Plattner basically said the Marine Corps was a bunch of stupid white guys or stupid guys who didn't know how to do things without the word of a woman to tell them, no, that's not a bad idea or that's not a good idea. I think that's a bunch of bullshit and downplays the ability for men to police each other and themselves. And I think men need to take it upon themselves to start policing each other and themselves much more publicly. And so that's what we're doing right now because they did say something really, really key, though. Adam said something really, really key. It was a quote by, I think it was a quote by somebody else, was America will always, Gavin Newsom said it, was will always follow a strong, even if you're strong and wrong, they'll follow you over weak and right. And I think that's really important to remember is that Americans follow strong, even if it's wrong. So why not be strong and right? Like, it was so easy to do. It was so easy to just I understand people are hurting. I'm hurting. I don't have an income outside of this. Like, my family and I are living off money that we currently have so that I can build a business so that we can do what we're doing. But you guys are what pay me. And that's not a lot yet. Like, I'm still a small podcast and I'm still a small creator and I'd love more paid support. Please do become a paid subscriber. I appreciate it. That said, we didn't need feckless, weak cowards in the Senate. Like, if I can stand up here in my house and go out and talk about it and make community and convince people in my neighborhood, which I have done, that what's going on is terrible and wrong, and that I think both parties are weak and feckless. And I think the only ones that are actively working for good are local Democratic Party members, not national. And I think the national party sucks. I think the local parties are trying really hard, and some of them are doing amazing work. But the national party fucking sucks. And they're a bunch of weak cowards, and we have no mechanism to recall them. So, I'm going to switch over to my other note just for that, and then I want to get your opinion on all. Actually, before I do that, I want to get your opinion on all of this. What are your thoughts about the Senate's proposal? And do you think they caved? And what do you think Hakeem should do?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a disaster. There's the one, which one was it? Angus King, I think it was. I've got the list is behind the thing now. But he was like, we tried standing up to him and it didn't work. And it's just sort of like, you can't compromise with fascists. You just can't compromise with them.
Yeah,
And
what a
and
weak statement.
yeah, and you know, and it's like, but I think we have to just take a further step back because a lot of what I've been thinking about, I was just reflecting how it feels like a year's passed between the times I get to come and talk to you, and it's just like it's like
A
I've
week
been
is
on
a
this
year.
journey for a whole year, and I get to come before the master and be like, "What have you learned in this last year?" That's what I feel like every week. Because I mean, just think about it. They've managed to effectively completely distract from the fact that Mamdani and all the other progressive Democrats just overwhelmingly won. And so
Yeah.
it almost feels like to me what's really at work here, the corporate Democrats just don't want to give us universal health care is really, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, you know what? We have to normalize just saying anybody who has ever opposed universal health care is corrupt. That is corruption. And it's like I get into these mores of the times arguments, where people are like, well, you can't judge Thomas Jefferson, based on the morals of his. It's like in his time, slavery was illegal in France. So it's like that's one thing. But I'm just like,
Mhm.
also, from when you're a little kid what is right and when is wrong, what is injustice. When I was 5 and somebody abused me, I knew that was wrong. It. So this mores of the times, and there's this tidal wave, this pressure for us to just submit to all these things that we know to be false. And the Democratic Party, you go back to the letter from Birmingham jail by Martin Luther King, where he said it's the moderates who are the greatest obstacle to equality. The moderates are the ones that take like this passive approximation of peace rather than the unpleasant fight for real justice. And we do not have that. And it's all by design. And that's why I wrote an article today. I mean, the people you need to trust. And you look at guys like Kinzinger, who's like, he's got a huge platform. He could talk to me. He could help me build up my platform. All the people in the Democratic Party could talk to me. We could start building it up. But they don't want that, do they? They want to be able to control a narrative. And there's just
Mhm.
layers upon layers upon layers of how the narrative is controlled to the point where regular people are brainwashed, where most people won't even advocate for universal health care. And, this talk about the strong man, it's like that is the case right now, but it doesn't have to be that. I mean, everybody always acts like, oh, this is the way the people think. There's nothing we can do about it. No, if you educate the people, they'll think differently. And all these things are deliberately file into that. We need to have this battle for the narrative. We have to push back, and people have to be more and more deliberate about who they support. I mean, I make this extreme effort to help other creators, bring people on. It's like help them build their platform. They build my platform. Together we all rise. So just look around and look at these guys who are not doing that. And don't
Yeah.
support them. Don't support the ones that aren't helping because they are part of a controlled narrative where they don't want those viewpoints to be heard. And that's just
Yeah.
something we have to open our eyes to.
Yeah. So let thinking, because we've got your note up too. And because we said it, what we're going to do is we're going to call out by name which 8 Democratic senators voted to end the shutdown and just abandoned what the American people had asked and voted on the 4th of November. Like the American people voted, and by a, a lot, by a lot, won every single race that was meaningful in the country, like every single one in Mississippi, in Virginia, in New Jersey, in New York,
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania, everywhere. They literally won everywhere. The American people said, we do not want this. We want you to continue what you're doing so that we get both healthcare and food. Somebody commented on my note, which is why I put mine up there earlier, was basically like, give them credit for, like, take the win, give them credit for giving people their jobs and food back. I was like, we're literally just voted on this, and the American populace said we want both because we're good enough to have both. Like that's the thing, is we're so fucking beat down in this country. People are like, "Oh, it's good that we just got food." What do you mean it's good that we just got food?
Yeah.
Like these like SNAP benefits they were illegally withheld by the Republicans. The
Yeah.
Democrats were winning. The Democrats were yes, I understand it's a political win. That's the whole fucking point. We need political wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop being afraid of political wins. Yes, I understand, but these people also need to feel what they
Yeah.
voted for. And
Well,
so
and they're
stop fucking giving in.
and they draw back. I read Kamala Harris's book, and when you're reading that, there's just this subtext where it's like the Democratic Party did not want her to win. It really felt
Hmm.
like that as I was going through that. There's so much more they can do, and we've got all these billionaires out there in our society. They can go feed people. They got billions of dollars. Nothing's stopping them. Or we could at least put some pressure on them. But they own the
Yeah.
media, so it's just
Yeah.
there's just layers upon layers upon layers of things, and all these things they try to shove down our throat are just clearly not true. And it's at that point. It's at that breaking point. I felt this way when I was in third grade. I'm like, you're telling me lies in school, because if you're
Hmm.
smart enough, you start seeing through it. They can't hide it from the smart kids. And this is happening on it's like I keep opening my life. It's like at some
Yeah.
point I'll grow up and things will start making sense. And it's like just more and more and more corruption, like I say. And it's like, and everybody's always like, oh, quiet down, you'll have your chance to talk. I'm 50 now. At what point do I get my chance to talk? Nobody's giving it to me. And it's thanks to all you wonderful people who have come to this to listen.
Hmm.
And you're here because you feel the same way, right? Because you instantly know it when somebody, and I knew this as a teacher. If I spoke the truth to my students, they instantly stopped. There was no behavioral issues. They instantly stopped and paid attention, but then you're pressured by the other administrators to like tell all the same BS. I'm like, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way because these are smart human beings, and together we can prosper. All this lies, like the lie of the strong man. And so that's why I was saying prior up to, or in the days leading up to the election, just expose him as weak. And like the guy
Hmm.
couldn't put a puzzle together, and Kamala
Yeah.
Harris came close to that in the debate, but she could have gone a little farther there.
Oh, yeah. She was held back.
Oh,
Absolutely. I think Kamala Harris was held back. I would vote for her again. I will happily vote for her again if she comes out and just talks about everything. But I also need to see her start doing things like visibly now. Like Gavin Newsom is really visible. I want Kamala Harris to just unleash in the most positive ways. Like just go feed people, just donate, like use your time right now while you are out of office to just donate everything you can, get networks together, people donating everything they can, and show that a Democratic candidate, just like Kat Abigazela is doing in Illinois, right, where she is feeding her community. Like you just get back, and that's what people want. People
And they
want you
need to
to
come on
actually
to,
have words that turn to action.
and they need to come on to podcasts like ours and
Oh,
talks
I
like
love that,
ours,
Kamala
like
Harris. That'd be
everything.
amazing.
Oh my God, that would be so but it's like it would build us up, it builds that, and that's what I've been trying to do this, but the only guys that come and talk to me are the progressive candidates,
Mhm.
and it's like it just doesn't make any sense. It's like I keep
Yeah.
saying this. These Democratic establishment candidates who will take our donation money and then go spend it on an advertisement on some oligarch-owned platform. When if they
Mhm.
would just come and talk to me, it would build my platform up. It would be
Oh,
free. They
absolutely.
could come on here. They could do it from the comfort of their own home. Then they wouldn't have to send out, please, I want to fight emails, like 200
Mhm.
of those all the time. But they want to control that narrative. They don't want to have
Yeah.
these honest talks with real people. So you always see the same uniform, people interviewing our political candidates, and we don't get any diversity. We don't have the questions. It's like, this is what it's like in my area. This is what it's like
Yep.
here. And then they turn around and the Democrats say, well, Mom Downey's message won't work in red states. It's like, well, how would you know? You never even talk to people in red states. You don't even try to run candidates there. So it's just deceit, layer upon layer upon layer. And we're not taking it anymore. Just speak out.
Yeah, just say say the truth and say what's on your mind. Like, fuck their feelings. They've told us to fuck our feelings for literally since I was in high school. I've been gaslit and told to fuck my feelings and the fact that I'm doing something. Like my entire generation was told I'm a millennial. We were told we crashed the housing market. I was 16. I was in high school. Like I couldn't buy a house. How the fuck did I crash the housing market? Like fuck off. You people crashed the housing market. You old people who hoarded your wealth and then turned it into corporate greed and then didn't give any of it back because your parents gave you all of the keys to help everybody else. And instead of being good and positive and move it forward, you're like, I'm going to be a dragon and I'm going to hoard this shit. And so I said it before, we're going to call out by name the senators. So here they are. Chuck Schumer, because you're a piece of shit for allowing this to happen, because you're the one who made sure this happened. This happened because of you. Next, John Fetterman of
Ah,
Pennsylvania.
he's out of
MAGA
his mind.
plant John Fetterman
Yeah.
needs to go.
Yeah.
Next, Senator Angus King, independent of Maine, caucuses with the Democrats. But when you say things like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
even worth fighting, that's
Yeah.
literally
Nope.
obeying.
That's
So
the opposite
fuck
of a
off.
leader right there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
it didn't work to stop the pedophiles from attacking the kids. What the hell, man? You
yeah,
then make
it
it
didn't work,
work,
so we gave up.
Yeah, you have to do something then. This is
Well,
not
then fight a little
acceptable.
bit fucking harder. Like,
Well, the fact
come
that a
on
guy can
now.
like that, he can go on TV and say that and not have if you said that to me, I would start screaming. You'd get preacher Walter again. I'd start going after the guy, and it's
Oh,
like you
you
need
should.
that because we can't allow that kind of talk to happen.
Can you just do a Preacher Walter show?
I
Like,
don't know.
can we
I
do
had
a
to go
banner
lay
and back?
down. I had to
Can
go
we
lay
do a
down
banner and
after it. I
back
was
on
filming
Preacher
myself.
Walter?
Somebody told me not to have a stroke, so I'm like, okay, yeah. I'll bring it out when
Okay.
the mood. Wait, but see, it just happens. It just comes,
Yeah.
and then I kind of wake up after because that's God speaking through me.
I love it. Okay. Next, we have Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. Next, Jackie Rosen of Nevada.
Where are these people?
Next, Dick Durbin of Illinois. Dick Durbin, you can just quit. Like, if you
Yeah.
step down right now, nobody would be mad. We'd all actually be really happy.
Oh man.
Janine Shahi, I think I said it right, of New Hampshire. You could step down too. Like,
Yeah.
bye. Next,
Hampshire,
Maggie
weird.
Hassan of New Hampshire. Come on, New Hampshire.
Yeah. What the hell?
What the fuck, y'all? Like, I'm from Vermont. You guys, we had a friendly rivalry growing up, like with New Hampshire because they're upside down Vermont. Happy Vermont. I love my Vermonters. Thanks, everybody. They were just upside down Vermont. But y'all, come on. Your constituents deserve better than that. Your constituents deserve better. Like New Hampshire, you guys have so many folks who need both food and health care. They can't afford the health care. The food and healthcare you could have voted for. You could have kept the line going. Next, Tim Kaine of Virginia.
Tim
Bro.
Kaine. Yeah.
Bro, your whole state just voted for a Democratic governor, lieutenant governor, and like overwhelmingly said no to the fucking MAGA and Glenn Youngkin bullshit, anti-abortion hate, and they said feed us and give us health care.
Yeah.
So what you doing, Tim? Like,
Yeah.
you're an ass, man. I know people in Virginia who have called you. I've got friends. Melissa Corrigan is going to be on your fucking ass every fucking day. So don't worry, Tim. You're going to have a phone box full of some friends from sick of this shit because they're fucking sick of your shit. Like you're a dick, man. Like
their
what a
inability
dick
to
move.
build their inability to build on momentum. I mean, just think how happy we were on Tuesday, and they've effectively sucked all the wind out of their sails. And
Oh
it's
my
just like,
God, yeah.
well, like the Democratic Party just refuses to implement like universal health care. That's really ultimately, I think, what's going on. They just don't want any movement in that direction. And I think they were actually, that's why they undermined Kamala Harris. I think they were afraid that we'd start becoming more progressive. They were mad. They turned on Biden because Biden's presidency was very, very progressive. It's surprisingly so. And we just keep seeing this over and over. And the media is all part of it. All these politicians are part of it. And we just have to be just start telling people we absolutely need universal health care. I think that's just the easiest way to promote that. Because who is excited about having to pay $2,000 a month for the privilege of paying another $1,000 if you actually get sick? I mean, it's at the breaking point now. And so they can't hide it with all this shifting that they're trying to do. It's not going to work because the people are dying and people going hungry now. So
yeah, like we can have both. We deserve both.
yes.
We need both. Like
yeah,
the American people voted for both.
yeah.
And then the Democratic National Party was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Just fuck you. That's what they did. They just gave us
Yeah.
the middle finger and they were just like,
Yeah.
fuck you, we fold. You know, all that 2 months that we got paid and you didn't, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all the
Um,
suckers from that.
and so this is going to put up my third note on this. We're going to do a third note today. Is I'm going to drop the QR. We're going to share that tab. Is the U.S. Constitution needs to be amended to allow citizen-led efforts to recall members of any branch of the government. The fact that citizens cannot show their unified displeasure with, say, a 2/3 popular majority is stupid as fuck. Like, you should be able to, we should be able to recall our senators and our legislators in general, our representatives, our senators. We should be able to, as a unified population, recall the presidents, the executive branch, both the president and vice president. And we should be able to recall the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The citizenship, literally, the citizen population has no say in who's in the Supreme Court after we vote in senators. That's pretty much it. We lose say. The representative democracy needs a fallback where there's a guardrail where citizens actually have the opportunity um, um, to say something. Oh, and
Yeah.
Nikki, I'm listening in on the chat too. I saw your audiobook suggestion for um, President Barack Obama's what was it, Promised Land. Um, and I will give that a listen if I can. And so we are listen. I am listening in. I'm sorry I'm not responding as much this morning on the chat, but I am definitely listening and seeing what you guys are doing. I'm trying to keep up on it while I'm doing multiple things.
Yeah.
My brain hurts a little today, but I'm also pissed.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the ability to fucking have a say in our government past one
Yeah.
vote.
Well,
Like,
and even that vote has been stolen. I mean, Arturo
yeah,
Dominguez talks about it a lot, and like all the advancements of the Civil Rights Act have basically been repealed. The Civil Rights era, the Supreme Court, I think it was 2013, they undermined a lot of it. We have all these gerrymandered districts, all that stuff. All that stuff was attended to in the Voting Rights Act, which the Democrats refused to push through, back when guys like Manchin were totally against it. I mean, we have so many Democrats. Voting rights, protecting voting rights. Establishment Democrats are against protecting voting rights. And I think we just all have to wake up. I mean, we have to wake up to that reality. The Democrats, they don't want to work for us. We got there's
no,
some that do. There are a few in the party that do, but there are a lot that just want to retain their power forever. And I mean, we're talking about things like protecting people's right to vote. They disqualify ballots that are completely legitimate. And I interviewed Greg Palast. You can find that. He was fantastic. And he just went through the whole thing, how they strike the names from the voting rolls, and then the soiled ballots. And it's like it's like you're 900% more likely to have your ballot discarded if you're from a black area. So it's sort of like they know exactly who everybody is, and we are in this era of AI where all these populations are known. They know exactly. They can predict with good probability who you're likely to vote for, and they discard your ballot. And it's just like this has been going on for a long time. The silver lining to that is there have been eras of greater oppression that we've managed to get through and have advancements. So it's all a matter of everybody waking up, though. But the messaging out there, we have to overcome all that false messaging that tells us that we should just be quiet and passive. Oh, you're part of the problem if you're speaking up. Oh, you want the other side to win if you're speaking up. All that comes. These are like the bots, the bots that are sent at us from the Democratic establishment. You'll notice when you write an article, it's never bot swarmed by people saying, yeah, universal healthcare is a great idea. Because there's nobody out there spending hundreds of millions of dollars to send all these false AI messages about how we need universal healthcare. That doesn't exist. But they attack us on two fronts. They attack you just for being liberal, and then they have the other set of bots that divide the liberals and call each other, well, you're part of the problem. So the two things we have to worry about.
Yeah, and we're not calling out all Democrats. We're
Yeah.
not calling out, and I was very specific too. I said national Democrats. The Democratic parties locally, if you live
Yeah.
in some of these redder areas, are doing amazing
Yeah.
because they are actually fighting for democracy in our states. Arkansas, we won for the first time, I think it was in like 20 years or something. We won back a state House seat out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, that area. The Democratic parties locally are doing awesome. Virginia won. The reason Virginia won was because of the local Democratic parties. A lot of local parties are winning despite the
Yeah.
national
Yeah.
party, not because of, despite the party. So
Hmm.
we have
Yeah.
to call out the national
And
party if we want to progress. I'm not leaving the Democratic
yeah.
Party like some of my friends have. I am a progressive Democrat who will
Yeah.
continue to fight for pro democracy values, and I will fight within the Democratic Party to push them as far as I can progressively because
Hmm.
I caucus with them right
Yeah.
now. Until we have a system where there can be more parties than just the two,
Yeah.
I caucus with them. I think both parties need to be destroyed right now. I
Yeah.
think both parties are legacy dinosaurs that are killing the American system and have convinced us that we cannot change our democracy. Guess
Yeah.
what? The citizenship in this country has the ability to amend the Constitution.
Hmm. Hmm.
We get the choice. We can vote on it on a national referendum. We can do that. We can amend the Constitution. Just because they say we can't doesn't mean we can't. Stop being convinced that the
Yes.
American populace has no power. The highest ranking office in America is voter, not
Yeah.
president, not senator, not congressman, not representative, not Supreme Court justice, not POTUS, SCOTUS, VPOTUS, VPOS, none of it. Voter.
Yeah.
We
And
have
we
the
have,
power to say what the Constitution means. They
yes.
don't get to tell us that it can't mean we get to have a popular referendum and vote their fucking asses out.
And we have to overcome that impulse too, because we're allowed to disagree and still be friends, right? We can disagree
Yeah.
with Democrats, and it's constructive criticism. And so that impulse, and I realize a lot of that comes from these
Mhm.
bots, because you're on social media and people are doing dishonest arguments all the time. And so we just have to overcome that when we're listening to real human beings who are saying, if we're pushing back against Chuck Schumer because we disagree with his actions, that doesn't mean and then he's like, well, if you disagree with me, you're trying to sabotage the party. That's an authoritarian argument. I'm just supposed to be in lockstep with Chuck Schumer all the time. And so
Yeah.
those of us who are on the other side when we're trying to see progress for our country, we have to just put aside and don't instantly be like, well, you're bashing all Democrats, you're attacking them, you're causing more harm than good. All those arguments are designed to just suppress discourse. We need this discourse. We need to talk to each other. We need to hear what things aren't working in various districts. We don't have that now. We don't have that open communication because people get instantly hostile unless you're 100% in
Mhm.
agreement with them. And that's one of the main things that we have to go over. It's Substack has been a huge, huge help. And it's being able to talk to more and more diverse people from different backgrounds. And I'm getting better at it myself because I get angry too. But part of that's because I get all these attacks I'll get 1,000 bot comments telling me they're going to burn down my house with the family in it. So I get a little jumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
And programming, you have to push that aside. You have to work through it, recognize, okay, I'm talking to a human being now. I'll take a breath before I accuse them of sabotaging the Democratic Party, and then I'll like, oh, actually, there's some things they're saying, sometimes I spend a whole week trying to figure out why somebody said something that they did, and then I'll figure
Mhm.
it out, come back to them and ask them for clarifications, and we work together. But that's how it should be, and we don't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. And we need this discourse because the Democratic Party doesn't have a platform. They don't really have a platform.
Yeah.
Their platform is we're against Trump, and
Yeah,
some of that
don't
is
their platform is
and
don't go left. I mean, that's
yeah,
and it's just so offensive because again and again they win if they go left. You
yep,
see it. And the
every
most
time.
popular president in the history of the United States, FDR, and it was most progressive. And all that's good in our
Yes.
country is because of progressive ideas.
And the
Everything
only
good in your
reason
life.
The
Yeah.
only reason Biden didn't have a lot of popularity was because the media was bought and paid for to
Yeah.
downplay every single progressive win that he did. And
Yeah.
he was not able to make a message because I think he was held back. And I think Kamala was held back in a lot of ways because she could have been an incredible messenger through the presidency of just going, Biden and I did that. Biden and Kamala did that. Biden and Harris did that. Biden and
Yeah.
Harris did that. Bridge brought to you by Biden and Harris. Bridge brought to you by Biden and
Yeah.
Harris.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's no democratic messaging machine, and every time we yell and talk about it, we get attacked for it. It's like when we talk about the Midas
Yeah.
touch and how they're
Yeah.
not doing enough, and they're not giving back in
Yeah.
creator funds.
Well, they can
Brian
come and talk to
Tyler,
us.
Brian Tyler Cohen is doing creator funds. I haven't reached out to many of the Midas guys. I do have friends who are on the Midas Touch network. Like Fred Wellman is a very good dude. He's a very good guy. I like Fred Wellman a lot. He's running for Missouri's second congressional district against Ann Wagner,
Good.
and I think you should support. I think everybody should support him. He's an incredible candidate. I think Fred. I'm going to use my platform here, and I think Fred should be the next congressman from the second district in Missouri. He deserves it. He is a progressive with values that matter. He's a veteran who's fighting for you. He has actively done things recently with the
Yeah.
Unite for Veterans, Unite for America rally with Dropkick Murphy a couple months ago. That stopped the bleed of VA providers. He is actively fighting for us, for my community
Yeah.
specifically, but the veteran community is the most diverse segment in America. So fight for veterans, you fight for yourself. So let Fred fight for you if you're in the second district in Missouri. When it time comes, vote for Fred. He's awesome. Fred
Yeah.
Wellman for Congress.
That's really interesting too, because I've in the course of the last few months, I've interviewed a couple
I think you
congressional
should reach
candidates,
out to
and
Fred Wellman.
oh yeah, I'd love to. If you we're have him on here, bring him on. We'll
Yeah,
talk
I'd
to him. That'd be
absolutely.
wonderful.
I'll reach out to him
But it's
again.
sort of and it's so good for us too, because that puts things in context too. Because it's like, first of all, yes, it's like in my district in Wisconsin, Derek Van Orden currently is sitting in the seat. And he's got to be defeated, right?
Mhm.
So, and it's like, I understand. It's like, okay, I know the people in my area, and it's like, it's a long process. So there's a couple levels here. It's like, I've got a 10-year plan and a 40-year plan, but also like a 2-year or a 1-year plan. Now we're a year away from the midterms.
Mhm.
And so it's sort of like, and I struggled with that too. It's like, okay, what's the message that'll work? Because a lot of my ideas, and we're trying out ideas in this discourse. We're trying
Yep.
out ideas. We're seeing how much, and the chat and the response. You guys are part of this. This is all this ongoing, because this is exploration. We're exploring the messages that work, and then we can go and talk to these candidates. But preparing to talk to the candidate, I'm like, okay, what sort of things? I don't want to do anything that'll like sabotage the campaign in the course of a half-hour interview.
Yeah.
That's a responsibility I feel too. So
Yeah.
very, very careful. But there's stuff like there's just basic stuff that we could be talking about. Like, I have an immigrant family. I do not feel safe. I do not want the government to take my family and hurt them.
Yeah.
I want my children to be protected from sexual predators. All of these are winning arguments. And it's like, I don't want to have to go bankrupt because somebody breaks an arm. I don't want to be afraid to take my kids to the hospital because I don't know if it's going to cost $300,000 to save them, and people lose their family members because of things like this.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we can talk about, but it is important for us. And yeah, just to be clear, I mean, I spend a lot of time fretting over these things. I was nervous the first time I sat down with a congressional candidate, and it's still something. I have my list of questions already and things like that. So we're thinking about, because we don't want to do more harm than good, but we do also have to peel back that corporate control of all media, because so many of these issues are just never discussed.
Yeah. And that's the problem. Is people have been I also think it's because we've been convinced that
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Americans are only good at consuming things in short segments, and that we don't want long form media or long form content. But from my experience, where we have now 165 people in our audience on Substack, we have others joining us in YouTube and Twitch. So
Oh,
we're on 3 platforms right now. We've been talking for 40 minutes, and our audience keeps going up. and not down, which means I think Americans and people in general do enjoy long form content. I think Americans are able to consume media that is longer and more in
Yeah.
depth, and we're smarter than
Yeah.
the parties want us to think we are or tell us that we are. Like they keep telling
Yeah.
us we're dumb and that we can only consume media in small segments or yada 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 yada. But bullshit. We're not dumb. We're smart.
Yeah.
We can do more than one thing. We can also listen to long form content. Like the best, like the Manosphere. Let's take that. They're a huge part of the right wing media network. They do long form content all the time. They're like 3-4 hour interviews. Like those guys just sit there and bullshit for hours and hours and hours. What do you mean people want 30-second content? No, the fuck they don't. People want long
Yeah.
form content where they actually get cool stuff and they get to hear about different things and talk about like people's like who they are and what they value. And I don't agree with a lot of the values of the manosphere, which is why I'm trying to build a new one. Like that's part of what I'm doing in all of
Yeah.
this is I want to build a manosphere. I want to build a place where men feel comfortable coming in and listening and having a good time, laughing, doing other things, being better and calling each other out, but also a place where women feel comfortable listening to because we're
Yeah.
not fucking attacking them and berating them. Like I never use derogatory language towards women when I talk about men anymore. Like I have specifically policed myself on that. Not I'm not telling other men they have to do it, but I think you should because women seem to think that it's like meaningful change is stop
Yeah.
using derogatory language about other men that are focused on women's anatomy. Like,
Yeah.
I think using
That's part of our
men's anatomy,
brainwashing too.
yeah, like break that. We break
Yes.
the brainwashing just a little bit, and like, what's more impactful, like being called a pussy or being called a testicle? Like, I called my brother-in-law a testicle yesterday just
Uh,
for fun, just
yeah.
because
How do
we
you
were having
respond?
fun because we do it. This is how
Yeah.
I talk to people in real life too, is like I talk this way. I'm very blunt. I'm who I am here as I am in real life. And I said it to my brother-in-law and we laughed and he laughed with me, but I explained it. I was like, you're soft weak and I'll just squeeze you and you'll just do what I want. And he broke down laughing. And I
Uh,
was like, see, that's so much more impactful than using a woman's anatomy because that's just mean to the woman, one.
yeah.
And also, it's funnier because
Yeah.
nobody does it. It catches your attention a lot more too. Like, sorry, I'm
That's
in
true.
media. I have to do things that catch people's attention. And if you guys like it and if you guys approve of it, and it's also what I do in my normal life, then awesome. Like, I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm doing the right thing and then spreading it.
I
Yeah.
want to say though too, and like just getting back to that soundbite versus long form
Mhm.
content, a lot of that changes. You just have to break the habit of consuming toxic media. I call it like fast food media. It's always the case. It's the same as like eating healthy. You know, you can either take the most convenient stop on the highway, or you could take the extra step and find something healthy. And it's just like I also have been comparing it to like giving up drinking. You know, we get into this habit. I was this way. I quit drinking. It's closing in on 3 years now where you're just like, okay, it's the end of the day. And the hardest part is changing these things. You know, you get to the end of the day, you go to the fridge, you grab a beer, and that's just your routine. You know,
Mhm.
and this is the same thing with toxic media. We just, oh, throw on the TV, watch some shitty news that misrepresents the reality of what's going on, and it brainwashes us.
Yeah.
And and then that's how you make that transition, you know. And that's another thing where we have to have grace with each other because
Yeah.
we're all at different stages in this journey. So if somebody says something bad or something that's like, okay, that's kind of inappropriate in a way you might have not have thought of. Oh, and then people are like, oh, gee, I didn't realize I was even doing that. And it's like, and we're all indoctrinated then to get hostile, and that divides
Mhm.
us again, right? So there's two levels there. We have to have grace as we're correcting people, and then we have to have grace with ourselves
Yep.
because you don't want to because I'll get frustrated with myself for doing something stupid. I'll get all paranoid about it. And I've talked with Will Forward about this. He's like, it's okay, man. It's like you're
I've
learning.
got to
We're all
meet
learning.
Will.
Oh yeah, I got to bring him on. We'll bring him on one of these times.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
that's
awesome.
on my it's on my list. I like creating these connections, so it'll
I
keep
love it.
going.
Um,
Yeah, but it's like, but once you get over that, where you've broken the habit of consuming toxic media, you're just going to notice if you day one will be a little bit better, day two will be better than day one, day three will be better still. And there's a lot of there's just diversity of opinions, because on the news it's just the same people that look exactly the same, interviewing all the same people. Just deliberately go on to channels and find people that look different from what you see in the news, and chances are, like, they aren't all, they got like crude drawings in the background like this, where it's not that refined. Oh, I'm the perfect guy in a suit with the perfect hair and a perfect makeup and telling you perfect bullshit. Go talk to real people. And we all want to talk to we want to have 3-hour conversations with real people instead of listening to the, you must consume, you must
Mhm.
consume, you must never ask. You're in the greatest country ever. If
Yeah,
you think there's anything wrong, there's something wrong with you, and you're a sinner, and you're bad, and you ruined the housing market, and you're a slacker, like what
yeah,
we used to hear.
yeah.
So it's just everything. They just constantly beat us down. Why are you listening to that? And certainly don't give them your money. And if we stop giving them our money, it collapses. That's also the joyous thing.
Yeah, and like I need a good laugh while we're talking about hard things because it um it makes it easier. It's also graveyard humor and we're all into it at this point. Like, yes, things are shitty, so let's have some fun while we do it because joy is the one thing they're never going to take from me. They're
Yeah.
never going to
Yeah.
take joy from me because if I can spread joy and creativity, we're not going to lose. I'm strengthening my morals and my values. I'm not loosening them. And to Lefty Prof in the chat, can you send me a DM, please, with the creator that you'd love to have me invite on, and I will definitely reach out. I love meeting and uh, building new connections and getting more creators on too, because that's what it's all about, is the big community growth. Thinking of that, I'm going to shift for just a second, or for just a couple moments here, is community growth and caring and how much we can care about each other and what we can do for each other and how we can support each other. Over the weekend, I put out a Feeding America campaign request for donations. And the Sick of This Shit community fucking overwhelmingly came in and was like, yes, y'all, we raised over $2,000 this
Wow.
weekend alone.
Great.
Please take this time to scan that QR code for the Substack Scribes Feeding America for the Sick of the Shit publications
Yeah.
little part of the team page and donate. Help us
Yeah.
raise even more. I've upped our team goal for our page to 4,000 from 2. I'm going to double it every time you guys meet it. I'm going to double it, and I would love to see if we can keep doing that. Like, that is what
It's
America
saving lives.
needs right now.
Literally,
Yeah,
it's
it's
saving
literally
people's
saving
lives.
lives,
Yeah.
and
It's
feeding
wonderful.
people. And I would love for people to donate. Like, it would mean so much to me for, if you can, to donate to the Feeding America. We're part of the Substack Scribes team, which is Melissa Corrigan has put together this amazing group of people with Jen Exie, myself, Shane Yurick is in there.
I'm
Um,
in it too. I'm not doing as good a
Walter's
job promoting it. I need
Walter's
to do
in
better.
there. Give me your QR code to or give me your link, Walter,
Okay.
and image. And next week, while we're
All
doing
right.
it, while it's
Perfect.
going on, I'll put
Yeah.
yours up next
Yeah.
week too.
Oh, perfect. We'll keep
And
pushing
we've
it.
got Centered America is helping and working in there with us. Blue. There's
Can you drop the link in the chat too? Somebody
Yeah,
was asking, they can't get the QR to work. They don't understand. I don't. I have a hard time with QR codes
yeah,
too. Bees,
absolutely.
freebirds.
I
I'm
can
the same
drop the
way.
link for that. Um,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
is
Oh, and it's always the people. I mean, it's always the hardworking people that are the ones. I mean, you got these, like, some billionaire could drop $100 million on something like this and solve it forever, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's places I've heard some good stories about people like Taylor Swift, to her credit,
Mhm.
but it's like there's no reason for people to be hungry in the United States. And this,
Yeah.
when I did that interview with Paul Vigna, there's enough resources now, and this is just the 50-year plan that we're on is just like recognizing this whole, like, accumulating wealth is a toxic mindset, and it's something that I've realized in my life. There's already times in my life where I make decisions, that are about helping people and not screwing people over. I'd have a lot more money now because I had opportunities to screw people over in my life and I didn't. because
Hmm.
I'd rather be able to be look myself in the mirror. And it's like, but we get so much pressure too. And then the people that screw people over appear to be rewarded externally, but then you see that they just deteriorate. I wrote an article the other day about how conservatives they face all these health issues. They're more likely to engage in self harm,
Hmm.
and just all these just bad things. That another thing the media suppresses. So, just giving that $20 or $10 to help somebody, it's saves their life, saves your life too. I mean, just committing yourself to these good acts. And I know all the people in our
Yeah.
chat already do that. I really
Yeah.
appreciate every one of them.
Everyone in our chat is amazing. And thank you so much for those who have donated and will donate and are considering donating. Like it, it literally
Yeah.
saves lives. And one of the things people forget to talk about when you do things like this, because we're all so used to hearing about how things suck and it has to be like you have to feel bad about shit. When you donate to things like this and when you give back to people you don't even know, you feel so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Yep. It
okay
does.
to admit it too. It's okay to admit to yourself that it feels good to give back and that you enjoy that feeling. It's
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah.
get positive feedback to yourself. Let
Yeah.
yourself give positive feedback. I
Yes.
donated $200 through my company, through Sick of This Shit Publications, to start it off, to kick off my company's campaign. I did that because I needed to, I couldn't ask everybody else to do it without doing it myself. And when I did it, I felt so good. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
forget how
Yeah.
good you feel when you do things like that
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
want to do it again. Like
Mhm.
you want to do
And
more.
yes, and I've always found that in writing too, because there's so many people and they get so focused. I mean, there's all these like, oh, how to get become a more well-known writer, and the trick is you just help other writers. You just help, and sometimes people get into that hoarding mindset, and I think that's pushed.
Yeah.
That's because the only thing we respect is strength and wealth and all these things that are all toxic for us. You keep getting them, and the secret to actually making progress in life and actually earning some things is exactly as Nick says. You help others, you build the community around you. We all have
Hmm.
to rise together. It's not you rising to the top and pushing everybody down. And it's just like, and even though we know that and we say that, like the actual ways that manifests in our lives can be hidden because
Yeah.
it's just like the more I do on this, just this mechanism of oppression, this veil of oppression that has been put over our eyes so that we can't see reality. It's so complex. And like there's just areas upon areas. Like, have you ever noticed as the year goes by, the second you start getting a little bit ahead in your bank account, some other like yearly fee shows up.
Hmm.
It's all been figured out. It's like, oh, you're screwed again. It's like you're pushed back again and again and again. And it's like that's just one other mechanism of ways that oppress it. Like, because if they just would release a little bit of pressure in just one area, everything would change. Like the amount of money we have to spend on healthcare. If we could just take that away, and it's like if people were able to, crime goes away if people have their basic needs met, and exploitation goes away because people aren't forced to do things against their morals just to survive. And it's
Yeah.
just like all these things, and we're under such heavy pressure all the time. Just a little bit, if you could, just a little, and it doesn't take much though. It's like 3% of it. If you could lift, the whole thing comes crashing down. Like the amount of effort they put into oppressing us is just so inefficient.
It is. And it's just the lie is that for every dollar, here's the truth.
Oh yeah,
Here's the truth. Every dollar spent on food and basic necessities is returned
yeah,
in at least like a 20%
hey,
return on investment every single time. Like for every dollar spent, you get 20 cents
yeah,
back, basically a dollar 20 back. It's because when people are fed and people have housing and people have health care and they're
yeah,
safe and they are $1.50. Thank you, Lefty Prof. For every dollar spent, you get $1.50 back. That means you make 50 cents on the dollar every
yeah,
single time somebody is fed and they have secure food security because they're able to then work. Capitalists, like if y'all want a good capitalistic system, at least feed and clothe and house your workers enough that they can afford the shit you're selling and some. Like that's how capitalism works, y'all. It's not a zero-sum game where you guys get to hoard it. Stop
Yeah.
being fucking dragons, Trogdor
Yeah.
burninating the countryside. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off, guys. Get out of here. Help us feed America instead
Yeah.
because
And there's enough
you feel good.
resources now. There's no reason for scarcity anymore. We have
Yeah,
enough. I mean, the technological advancements, this doesn't make sense. We're holding on to this dead ideology and it's
yeah,
killing us.
yeah. Like, I'd love to see huge donations, and I know they may have their own teams and stuff too, but I'd love to see donations from some of our bigger networks and creators who are on here coming to our smaller teams because
Yes.
it it sends a message that they trust us too, that they are building a network with us
Well,
or a system around us
yes.
too for all of us to be a part of. And that they,
Yeah.
like, Centered America donated to the Sick of This Shit publications page. Shane
Awesome.
has and Shane's family has donated to my page. We have folks like Courtney who have donated to multiple pages. Like, we have some amazing friends
Yeah.
and I can't name all because I haven't looked at all, and I'm sorry if I haven't named you in all of them. I know, Beth, you have donated too. We have people outside of the community and friends that we're building with. Thank you to
Yeah.
whoever scanned the QR code just
Yeah.
now. I see that popped up. That's amazing. Like, you're giving back, but it's also, it makes you feel good. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to be okay with the fact that you feel good at the end of it. Like, take, if you want it from
They are.
earlier, like somebody told me, take the win in the Democrats caving. No, 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 no. The real win is us coming together and helping each
Yeah.
other, because if they're going to refuse to do it, we have to do it.
Yep.
And
And
nobody's
I'll
going to
stop
save
fighting.
us.
The only time I'm going to stop fighting is when we have universal health care, and that's when I'll celebrate too, and I
Yeah.
think that's a big, but it's sort of like, it's not, it's like, oh, we should be grateful for this. It's like, no, we're nowhere near where we need to be. But like the other thing, like this building community, and that's the other thing. It's like, I think it was Paul Wellstone who said, when we all do better, we all do better,
Yeah.
and it's true. We help each other and we keep right. And so if we're talking with these other networks, I think they're afraid. They're like, oh, they're going to steal my audience if I talk to them. That's never once scared me,
No.
and it's like, we keep seeing, no, we normalize each other and we keep building it up. We make it so, and in the course of talking with Nick, I've learned a lot, just like, okay, this is something I had wrong, I didn't realize it, and we help each other that way. Plus we support each other. We're like, we are right on
Yeah.
this, because then we go and think about it for the week and we come back and it's like, yeah, that actually is right. So these other substacks should be talking to us, and all the wonderful people here, everything that you can do, if you could bring more people to this platform, because we have to erode people away from that toxic media. And because people are in that without even knowing how much damage it's doing to them.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can have like a nice intervention. We're saying, like, do these viewing parties and just bring more people to come and hear these things, because the mainstream media isn't talking about these things. They're giving you false information. You want your kids to have access to truthful information that will actually help them build up a life. And look at all these horrible people where, it's like, do you want your son to take the president and the vice president as a role model for how to be a man? I mean, it's like, just them watching that for 4 years, even if it's not pushed, they're going to pick up all these just awful habits. And
Yeah.
it's going to hurt them. It's going to make them bad people. And so they need to have that countered with just decent people who care about their kids and they care about their spouses. And just like, because that is just sorely absent in our society, and we have to do more to promote that kind of thinking.
Yeah. Like, harden your moral and ethical values that you already have that are good and solid. Like, build your foundation and then spread it. Like, stop being
Yeah, we need
afraid.
more of an audience.
The shitty folks, the folks who are send out shitty messages, like, who have bad ideas, do it all the time. So why shouldn't we? Why can't we be louder? Somebody fund us. Like, help fund us. That would be awesome.
Oh,
I would love, not big corporate, but like friends. And I'm working with other creators too to help build our network and build it stronger, and the future and where we can go and what it can look like so that we can all be built up together. So, like, we are working on it. We just need,
the hate groups have limitless funding. The hate groups have limitless funding because they've got all the fortunes of all the oppression of human history that they're sitting on, and they're terrified because they can only get it through further oppression.
Yep.
So they spend all this money on all these lies, and it's the toxic media, the fast food media that's shoved in our faces. Nick and I are pushed to the fringes. And congratulations to all of you for finding us, because it's not easy to find us. It really is not. And
No.
I just appreciate everybody so much. So thank you.
Yeah, and Walter, how do I not have your QR code? Oh my God, I didn't get your QR code again. See,
That's
this
all
is the
right. That's all
problem.
right.
Nick is
People will find
Nick
it.
is behind. No,
It's
but
your
I
show.
know. I know, but I like having
Yeah.
there it is. Oh,
Well, that's sweet. Cool.
uh,
I like how when you put it up there, it says somebody's used this QR code. So let's see if that happens.
give me 1 second,
I don't know.
Walter. I got you, my
I don't know
friend.
how
I got you,
technology
my friend.
works.
I want to make sure
So,
that you're
well, thank you.
you've got a
But
you've got a
you
QR
guys know,
code
and
too.
Shane was talking about this too, how our organic growth has been pretty much cut off on this platform. I see it's the opinionated orga talks about that all the time. So there's just a lot of forces at work. They you see it on the mainstream, the national level. The Democrats have a massive win, and all the corporate Democrats can do is take the wind out of their sails. So there's deliberate suppression when it comes to things like this. The reason you don't see like people who are committed fathers in the news and in the media and in politics is because it's deliberately suppressed. And so a
Oh, there
lot
it
of just
is.
the toxicity in American society is deliberate. But we do have that power. And thank you all for supporting us. It makes it possible for us to combat it a little bit.
Well, help find Walter.
Yay!
Help
There
help
he
help
is.
Walter grow. Help. Can you sell yourself a little bit here? Continue to sell
Well,
yourself and see, like, tell
if
people how to
yeah,
find you and all
well,
what you're
yep.
doing.
I would really love to get to the point, and I'm committed. I don't want to, it's like, I don't think this should be a kingmaker platform. A little bit more so I can support my family stuff would be great, but I do my best to support all the other creators that I can find. Bringing, right now it's mainly just bringing them on and sharing platforms and getting their viewpoint. And just like, as this goes on, that's going to continue to be my goal. I'm old enough now where it's just sort of like I don't have illusions. It's just sort of like at this point, I just want universal health care for my kids. And I want to see people stop being exploited. And it's just, what else is fun? We were talking before too about like the more positive masculinity. It's nice to have the accountability of my wife and my kids. And I think that does help. Holding men accountable is good, but also just talking about like that deliberate choice to be like, you know what? I'm going to do the things that help other people. And as Nick says, that does make you feel better. Plus I have kind of nice little cartoons. Oh, I did that wrong. I can't do it. I can't make myself point the right way. But it's like
the mirroring is so hard to figure out that way.
I couldn't there. I did it right. I made my brain work, but I do my nice little drawings like the Pegasus there, and so I kind of throw those in. And if I have more time at some point in the next couple of years, I hope to just exclusively share the fantasy stories that I write for my girls, and I'm going to have them illustrate them. But in the meantime, we got this other fight. So thank you for being part of it and supporting me.
Yeah. And thank you so much for also letting me have some artwork, or giving me the use of some artwork that your kids drew. That your daughter, like, they're amazing.
Yes.
These background artwork pictures.
Thank you. So
and I cannot wait to do an episode where we can just like share each other's kids, our daughter's artworks. Like, my daughter has some incredible stuff that she loves doing.
I gotta be Superman.
So I want to show that. Walter Superman, I love it. So go support Walter. He's amazing. And then
it's the Christopher Reeve Superman. I don't know if you know, he does it.
It's been a while since I've watched Superman.
Well, that was one of the big three. There was Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and then Superman.
I watched all of them. It's been a while.
Christopher Reeve, man, that guy was a superstar. I love that guy.
He was, yeah. And then please come support me here at Sick of This Shit Publications. Yes. I'm trying to feed my family also, and build up my business, and maybe buy things like a microphone and a webcam for myself at some point, so that I have some cooler equipment. So please come become a paid subscriber if you can. I am actively looking for paid and new founding subscribers. If you would like to join as a founding, that would be amazing as well. But join me any way you can, free or paid. I appreciate all the support around. And also follow me on YouTube and Twitch. If you're not, subscribe on either one or follow. I'm starting to build up Twitch and where that's at. And then and also my YouTube channel. So please support me on both outside of Substack. Um, but yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. I cannot wait to talk to you again next week. We should be
Yeah.
having Marlon Weems with us coming on next
Yes.
week for
Oh,
Notes of
he's
the
a
Week.
superstar.
It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to talk to him. And so, Walter, thank you so much for today. Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
It's always fun to talk with you.
Yeah, like I said, it's like touching base and just
Yeah,
like, oh, and it's like, how is it? It feels like it's been 10 years every week. It's like, oh my God, everything. But it's so good to be here. So
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Thank
And thanks
you.
again for your service. And to all the veterans,
Thank you.
thank you for your service.
Thank you. And everyone in the audience who is a veteran, everyone in my community who, my friends and family who are veterans, thank you all for your service too. Thank you for your continued service as you fight for our Constitution and for our great democracy
Whew.
and our republic.
Yeah.
Please continue to
Oh,
do so. You have my full support as we continue this fight to build an America and a United States that is more united and lives up to the promise that
yep.
we always
Yes.
had. So let's do this. Let's follow the lead of some of these great vets, some of my friends, non-vets as well, doing their services like Walter. Um, thank you, everyone. I will talk to you again next week. We will be back. And as always, let's keep being sick of this shit and let's keep doing this shit because we're doing amazing work, y'all.
Perfect.
Thank you. Have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you.